So 6 of the 7 G7 members were stunned on Saturday after U.S. President Donald Trump's brief but contentious visit. Political analyst Peter Mathews joins us from Los Angeles. He teaches political science at Cypress College. He's a friend of the show, of course. Peter, I just wonder, when you hear those words, false statements, weak, meek, and all the other words that the U.S. president used to describe the Canadian prime minister, is there a point, you think, when the damage done to the relationships becomes irreparable?
I'm really concerned about it, Cyril, because it's very demeaning and insulting for the president to use those kind of words when the prime minister only was basically telling the truth. And it's very dangerous. Our closest ally, the closest physically and in many ways politically, is Canada. And yet we have this kind of relationship now. And then also with the other G7 members, it was a really horrible meeting, I believe, from Trump's perspective. From our perspective, what Trump did, he basically set the whole post-World War alliances back by quite a bit. We don't know where it's going to go in terms of the danger of this actions of his and those words.
But consider the flip side of the argument, which would be that the U.S. president, perhaps no one else, but the U.S. president perhaps can get away with this because he is so powerful. He plays such a central role in world order, in world trade, everything. The different rules apply to him.
Well, that certainly may be true, but other presidents didn't behave this way, and it's not good for the United States or for the Western allies to be treated that way. Let me make this point, though. You know, the trade deficit in the world with the U.S. is only about $552 billion. That's $552 billion. And the EU deficit is about $92 billion. It's not that much, really, when you consider it, in goods and services. And the fact is, the United States has to be able to find a way to sell its products around the world, and the people who want to buy those products. And that's the problem. I believe that there's a different way to go about this than insulting our neighbors and our allies. And Canada was in several wars with us, as Prime Minister Trudeau pointed out. That was a very wrong way to go about it. And just because the president thinks he can do it because it's a powerful country, economically, militarily, it doesn't mean he should do it. It'll be good for the United States security or our friendship with other countries.
On the substance of Mr. Trump's argument, and you started addressing this, which is that allies are robbing the United States. Does he have a point there?
No, he does not really, because there's a problem here with American behavior toward its own industries. We don't subsidize our industries nearly enough in the right way. America gives out money to big agricultural farmers to export our products and subsidizes them with buying them crop insurance and giving them tax deductions. But we don't really promote industrial policy like Japan and Germany do. And those are examples when other European countries are also doing the same thing. And that is where the government provides research and development to feed to the corporations. In turn, they compete, they put it together with their own research and development, and they come up with the best products in the world, modern products, and they export it all over the world. That's why they have the balance of trade surpluses, Germany and Japan, because the government has been involved with that. With the U.S., we backed away from that policy we call industrial policy. When many of the Republicans came into office in recent years, it took us away from that government support for our business and for our workers. And that's the problem. Even American workers are paid a lot less than European workers in terms of how much they can buy with the product they're paid. That's the real problem, and that's what Trump should be looking at. Not this artificial way of putting tariffs and starting a trade war like was done back in the 1930s with Smoot-Hawley tariff.
Donald Trump also said that G7 countries would have to agree to new trade rules. Listen to this.
It's going to change. It's going to change. They have no choice. If it's not going to change, we're not going to trade with them.
So look, can the United States force new trade rules onto its allies?
Very dangerous attempt to do that because it is very demeaning, first of all, to talk down to allies who are equals in many ways, economically especially. And then on top of that, it could backfire to the allies retaliating, as they already have proposed a $7 billion tariff system on U.S. products. And then Trump is saying, don't retaliate to our retaliation. He's the one who started the trade war. I don't think I see it that way at all, from Trump's point of view. Going to backfire on the United States and on our American people and the people of Europe as well, and the world eventually. And this is a real problem for our economic situation, especially for working Americans and working middle-class people around the world, and the working poor as well.
All right, Peter Mathews, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.